All right, after a whole year of making changes consistently with my diet and my lifestyle, like better sleep, adding more walking, changing some of the foods that we eat to be more consistent, how has that affected my gut microbiome score after 1 year of making these changes? Let's check that out in this video. Hello, my friends. Welcome to another video. This video, we are going to share my latest gut microbiome testing results after 1 year of making raw vegan diet changes and lifestyle changes. So we're going to dive into that today. But before we begin, I wanted to let you guys know about the brand new Ultimate Vegan Health and Weight Loss Bundle that is going on right now. It's only $49 and you're getting over $6,000 worth of stuff. And this bundle is new. There's plant-based doctors like Dr. Furman, Dr. McDougall is in it. We've got Dr. Vanessa Mendez, who has contributed her Gut Health 101 and other things to this bundle. There is so much. There's a yoga teacher training in here. I've got 6 things in this bundle as well, including my brand new fully revised edition of 52 to New You. It's a transition guide over to a raw vegan diet, and I have put everything into this ebook. It's part of this bundle. So if you want to grab that, go check out the bundle. The link is in the description box below. You're not going to want to miss this one because it is amazing. Go check it out, see what's in there, and let's dive into the results from my most recent gut microbiome test. I like to test with Ombre Lab. This is their testing kit that I've been using for the last year. I've done 3 microbiome tests, and you can watch previous videos about the microbiome testing that I do. I've done several videos on this. I think it's a very important tool to use for learning about our gut. Our gut is so incredible and gives us so much if we give it the food that it needs, the prebiotic fiber, by eating whole foods, plants, and lots of them, and lots of variety. So I want to also try other companies, like Biome is another one. And if you're looking for a list of microbiome testing companies, you can check the description box below. I have a bunch of them, depending on what country you're in, what you're looking for, but there's a bunch in there. So go check those out as well. But for right now, we're using Ombre Lab. And the first test that I ever did was in December of 2021. So it's just over a year ago that I did my first microbiome test. I did my second microbiome test in August-ish of 2022. And I just did another microbiome test in January of 2023. So this is one of my favorite products lately. I'm sure you know, I'm really geeking out and nerding out on the microbiome. I think it's incredible. And my first test, let's just share my screen here. And I will share here we go, check it out. So as you can see here, this 83%, this was my microbiome test in December of 2021. So that was my starting point. And this number is from eating raw vegan foods for seven and a half-ish years. So I can only imagine what my score would have been had I been able to test my microbiome way back in the day, like in 2014 when I first started. I'm sure it was low in like the 30s or 40%. I probably would have had a really low score because I was dealing with candida overgrowth, very dysbiotic gut. I had skin issues, like severe skin issues, which are linked to your gut health. And so when it says 83, I'm actually really proud of that number because I've come a long way. And your microbiome does change with one bite, but it takes months to years to change the ecology in your gut. So you do want to be consistent with your changes, and you want to increase your variety, not limit it. That's why I don't do the diet minimalism thing, I eat very complex salads because I want to get as much variety in my gut as I possibly can because it's going to feed my microbiome. So in August-ish, my score was 91%, and that was after adding the recommended foods, which were really high in inulin. So things like garlic and onions, I added more of those. I was eating sunchokes almost every day. That's one of the highest food sources of inulin, which is food for the microbiome, for your probiotics. You need that. So important. Asparagus, I added pears, apricots. Those were some of my other foods as well. Fennel and fennel seeds, really important for the microbiome. So those were my suggested foods, and we can go over that later in this video. But so for the first test, 83, second test, 91, and the third test, 92%. So it is slowly improving and it's growing, and I'm very happy with that. So here is my final test that I just did, and I'm going to do another one in the summer. I want to always have testing going on just to see where I'm at. So this is the comparison scores that you get when you do that. So it's a breakdown, your diversity score. My diversity score, according to Ombre, is 95%, so it's on the high end of the community average. The comparison score is 83%, which is higher than the community average. That's based on the levels for across their database. My ecosystem score, again, it's on the high end, and my symptom score is 100%. I don't really have a lot of gut symptoms or anything like that. So that's very interesting. Here is at a glance, your next retest window. They give you kind of a window of when to test again. And so starting 83%, and then we've got 91%, and we've got 92%. So I guess that was in September. I couldn't remember August or September. But yeah, the 92%. So it was really only between these two, it was 9 months. And between these two, it was only like 4 months, maybe. So there's a reason why it was not as big of an increase, perhaps. I'm not sure. But so that is my most recent score. Now, what's really cool is that they have the bacteria levels. So you can go into the bacteria levels and you can see these four. We've got the commensals, which are your symbiotic bacteria that live within your gut. There's tons of them. And typically this is in the range that it is. And our probiotics, check this out here. So the community range is between 18 and 37. And there's people who have very, very low probiotic, and then they have a higher pathogenic amount, a percentage of the gut microbiome. So my level is 31%. Now, the reason I want to show you this is because this level has not always been this high, and I'm working, obviously, to get it higher because we're all on our journeys, and I was not breastfed. I was bottle fed, so I didn't get the amount of bacteria that we should be getting when we're born, which sets us up for life. So I've had to work extra hard to grow this. And after being raw for over 8 years, this has been something that I've been focused on. So the thing is here, you can actually go to the different tests that you've done. So this is the most recent test that I did. Let's go down to the first test that I did. And you can see the difference in the probiotic score. My level when I first started was 21%. So it wasn't as high as I would have liked it to be. My commensals were higher, but that meant that my probiotics were lower. So I wanted to increase my probiotics and decrease my commensals a little bit. These guys, again, they take up the bulk of the bacteria in our colons, but we really want to have a high amount of probiotics because they're the ones who are giving us the majority of the benefits that they do. My pathogens were a little lower back then, so I'm definitely working on continuing to manage that by increasing my probiotics, thus increasing my fiber intake. So then you've got here like the different kinds of bacteria that are in there. But we'll go back to my new test here and see that I am definitely doing a lot better on the probiotic score. So my next goal, I'm hoping that it's higher, but again, we don't know. And it all depends on how your bacteria go about. So here is the community range, which is the ideal range that they have. And if you are on the low end, then it's definitely something to look at. I know my roseburia is a little on the lower side, and I'm going to go into another testing site in a second here. But first, I want to go to the foods section. So in the food section, they do offer things that will help your microbiome grow. And they have a list of avoid, and I don't like the word avoid because it doesn't mean to eliminate in this case. It means to lessen the amount that you're eating. Because if you're eating too many of the avoid foods, it's going to grow more of what you already have. So it's not that you need to avoid it, it's that you need to focus on the recommended ones more so than what's on the avoid list. There are some things on the avoid list that I just don't eat anyways. So the recommended foods for me, for my microbiome, and this might be slightly different for other people, sunchokes are one of the top foods for everybody pretty much because it's so high in inulin, which feeds the microbiome. So Jerusalem artichoke, otherwise known as sunchokes, these are amazing. They're in season in the wintertime. So most international markets have them. Whole Foods has them. Sprouts has them. I've even seen them at Smith's and Albertsons. So mainstream places have them as well. And you can always ask your produce manager if they're able to bring them in. So try to get that. And if you can't, if you have pots in your house, you can actually buy Jerusalem artichokes on like Etsy or Amazon even has some of them, and they'll ship them to you, and then you can actually plant them in the pot and they will grow more, and then you can harvest them. They're actually best preserved in soil. So you can just like dig them a home and then put them in there, and then they're gonna just multiply. So that's a great option as well. Chicory, any of the chicories like the radicchio, endive, Treviso, Castelfranco, those kinds of greens, and chicory root, those are all really great for the microbiome. Wild garlic, again, garlic and wild garlic. There's people who say that garlic isn't good for us or it's antibiotic, but it's not anti-probiotic. It is an antibiotic, but it deals with the pathogens. So it is food for our microbiome, and it's really beneficial for us. It increases certain ones. And I have a huge amount of Akkermansia bacteria in my colon because I eat a lot of garlic, I think anyways. I also do asparagus. So Nate and I, since we bought our freeze dryer, we've been freeze drying asparagus, and I've been trying to eat 1 or 2 spears every day. I'm trying to be more consistent. That's the thing too. You can eat asparagus once every couple weeks, but that's not going to give you a sustained amount of fiber for your microbiome. So what happened, like think about it. If you had a group of people and they thrived on asparagus, if you only gave them asparagus once every 2 weeks, they're not going to thrive. You have to give them asparagus every single day. And then when they multiply, you're going to need to give them more asparagus so that the ones that multiplied, there's more of them, you need to put more in. So we have to be consistent with our new food choices, not just sporadic, like not say, oh, I have Jerusalem artichoke. I bought some and I ate it for 3 or 4 days, and then you don't buy it for another 2 weeks, and then you buy some, and then you eat it for a couple times. That's not going to make the dramatic changes that you're looking for in your microbiome score. You have to be very consistent with the foods because you're feeding a colony. You want to keep it fed and you want to keep it growing. And as it grows, they're going to need more food. So you have to eat more of them. So those are my top vegetables. There's actually other recommended vegetables, but we'll come back to that in a second. Here's my top fruits. Dragon fruit. We've been eating a lot of dragon fruit lately. We have it frozen. We did actually buy cases of it when we went to LA in December. So we freeze dried that. And I haven't been able to find garlic pear. So I would like to, but like the Akkermansia, I can do the garlic for it. So that's okay. Sour cherries haven't been able to find, but I've been starting to try to eat more apples and apricots. Apricots are really good as well. I've also had pear on this list. It's not on this one, but pear is another good one. I don't do any of these except like chickpeas and garbanzo beans are the same thing. But yeah, so the chickpeas, we do soak those and sprout them. Definitely trying to eat walnuts every day, even if it's just 2 little pieces. Just the consistency. The consistency is what's important. As for the other ones, I don't really do a lot of that, but fennel seeds, chives, and allspice, these three have become, I would say, staples in my diet. I have a shaker jar of the fennel seeds on the table. So I am adding fennel seeds, probably like half a teaspoon of fennel seeds to every single salad. And that is really helping my microbiome as well. And oils I don't do, so I don't bother with that. But I'm choosing the raw foods that work. And we're going to check out the vegetables here. More vegetables. So see, we've got more Jerusalem artichoke here, ginger, fennel. Fennel's a really good one for my microbiome. I've been eating a lot of ginger. Haven't been doing a lot of shiitake mushrooms. Actually, we're going to make a recipe from Chef Yin's. She has a course, like an Asian favorites raw food course, which calls for shiitake. So we bought some and we're going to make some delicious recipes from the bundle. Again, if you guys want to grab the bundle, now is your chance. This bundle only happens once a year and next year it'll be completely different. So if you like this bundle, grab it now because this is your only chance ever to get this bundle the way it is, exactly the way it is. So check it out. The link is in my description box below. I've got 6 contributions in there. I've got my Make It Raw ebook that I wrote with Chef AJ, my brand new revised 52 to a New You Raw Vegan Transition Guide with loads of information, tons of recipes. There is my Checkmate Your Cravings video course, which alone retails for $77. So you're getting everything. You're getting over $6,000 worth of content for 49 bucks. 6 of my contributions plus Nate's microgreens course. Like, this is seriously the best time to get some of our content, let alone all the other stuff that you're going to get in there too. And there's lots of doctors. Like I mentioned earlier, Dr. Furman, Dr. McDougall, Dr. Vanessa Mendez, Dr. Colin Zhu is in there too. The list is endless. So go click the link and scroll through the website. You get everything on the website. A link is sent to you and you can download all the content. You have 1 year to download it and you get to keep it forever after you download it. So please go check that out. I've got spinach on here. That's something that I don't do as regularly, but it is on there. So, you're going to get a list of all kinds of stuff in here. Cabbage is something that we do a lot of. Bok choy, I do eat a lot of because it's very high in calcium. And yeah, so there's stuff in here that doesn't need to be cooked, like the cassava and the eggplant. I don't do those because they need to be cooked. But yeah, kale, cucumber, like all these things I eat. So it's definitely an interesting thing to do, is to go into here and check it out. I want to show you the avoid list. Again, avoid does not mean eliminate. Please really let that sink in. Avoid on this website does not mean eliminate. It means eat less of, because I already have a lot of these microbes in my gut. I don't need to be feeding more of them. I need to be feeding the ones that are smaller colonies and build them. And that's why I have the recommended foods, because those foods feed different ones. So in my gut, I already have a lot of these. So I don't necessarily need to eat these. I don't eat squash anyways, but if it's on your list, it doesn't mean eliminate. It just means eat less of and eat more of the other stuff. So like, I still eat pineapple. I still do kiwi fruit. I do like fermented olives sometimes, raw fermented olives. So these are things that I still eat, but in lesser quantities than the other stuff. Like, I really focus heavily on the other ones. Like, I still do rosemary, but it's not as often. I'd rather use the other spices. But again, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It does not mean eliminate. It means lessen the amount that you're eating. So now there's another website called BiomeSite. And now BiomeSite is a site that you can upload your data from Ombre Lab. So you can just follow the instructions. They have instructions on how you can do that. They have a video and that kind of thing. So if you want, you can take your results, you would download your results, and then you would upload them to BiomeSite. It's free. You can create a BiomeSite account, upload your data, and you can check it out. So it's a little different data results compared to Ombre. It's a little more accurate. And there's more things, like you can check out your short chain fatty acids, neurotransmitters, toxins, detoxification, nutrients, intestinal permeability, food intolerances, your longevity. Like there's so many things in BiomeSite. And if you're living in the UK, you can get microbiome tests from here. I think they ship to the US too, I'm not sure. But BiomeSite is a really great website for data collection. So I have my January test here, and their test result says that I have 92.46. So Ombre Lab said 92, and this one says 92.5 pretty much. So it's got my diversity is quite high. You can click on the diversity to see, and they say my diversity is 99 out of 100. So that's pretty high compared to the Ombre. The Ombre said I was at 95, whereas this one says I'm at 99%. So that's pretty awesome. My probiotics score, you can just click on each one and it shows you the probiotic score. Mine is 92%, which is basically overall numbers. So as you can see, again, here, my roseberry is a little low. So it said on my Ombre test as well. So it's pretty similar, but this one's a little bit more accurate, I believe. So then you can go into other things, like you can see your short chain fatty acids, like which ones you might need to work on. And everyone's going to be different. So I've got really high levels of acetate and butyrate, which is really, really good. The midpoint is kind of where you'd like to be. My propionate is a little low, so definitely going to work on that and try to increase that. Eat more foods that feed the bacteria that create propionate. So that's another thing that I'm going to be working on. But I just really wanted to show you guys this because it's really cool to dive into your own gut and see, like, I've got a lot of myrosinase because I eat a lot of broccoli and cruciferous vegetables. So I've got a very, very, very high amount of myrosinase, way higher than the average midpoint. So that's really good too. But yeah, definitely wanted to share that with you. My microbiome results are impressive to me. I'm very happy with them. And as I mentioned, I will be doing other tests. I actually would really like to get a Viome kit and use my Ombre Lab kit and take a sample from the same stool and do one Viome test and one Ombre Lab test and see what the difference score is based on the different companies. Because Viome is a really big company that does microbiome testing, so I would like to try that. And there's also Zoe, joinzoe.com, which is another microbiome testing site that is part of Study. So you can be part of the microbiome studies that are going on right now, which is really cool. So when you order a test, I just want to quickly show you guys this. You get a test, you have to activate your test. You get like a little code, which you'll want to activate so that when you do send it in, they know which one's yours. So you have a shipping label on it. So it's really easy. All you do is order the test, do the test at home, and then ship it off. Inside the box, you've got your little kind of bookmark so that if you throw out the box, you still have your code. Your code is on here too. You have a little bag to put your sample in, and you get these sterile swabs to swab a sample. So what you do is first thing in the morning, when you are taking your first stool of the day, you will just like take a little bit of it and choose about a rice-sized sample. So you don't need a lot, just a little bit, the size of a rice. And then there's this like blue liquid in here. You mix it for, what's it say, 20 seconds. You mix it in there, and then you shake it up for 5 seconds, and then you put it in this little bag, put it in the box, fold up the box like this. There's a little sticky thing here. Just peel that, seal it, and then drop it in the mailbox. You don't have to pay for shipping because this is the shipping label, and you just send it back there. And then after they get it, it's normally about, I would say, like a week and a half to 2.5 weeks before you get your test results, and you can just log into your Ombre account and it'll be there. And they do send an email when they get it, and so that you can go check it out. But I highly recommend doing microbiome testing just like you would do blood testing, because it's important to see where your gut is at and see what you need to work on, because everyone's going to be different. Our gut microbiomes are totally different. Each and every single one of us has a different microbiome. Nate and I eat pretty much exactly the same, but his microbiome is a little different than mine. And that's just how it is. Like, we all grow up in different areas. We all spend different amounts of time in nature. We sleep differently. There's so many factors that come into play when it comes to your gut microbiome. So we are all unique. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be eating more raw foods, because our microbiome thrives on fiber. And I personally believe that whole fiber is the most ideal form of fiber for our gut, and giving it the whole fiber is going to really help to boost the microbiome score and to build. But again, this is a lifelong journey. We're constantly tweaking our diets and seeing what works and changing things, and it's okay to evolve and it's okay to experiment, because that's what it's all about. That's how we discover what works and what doesn't. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you want to grab the bundle, it's only here until February 12th, and then it's gone forever. It will never be the same bundle. We have doctors in this bundle. I've got 6 contributions in there. Nate's got his microgreens course. There is so much value in here. And there's a lot of gut health stuff. Like the stuff from Dr. Vanessa Mendez it's basically worth the entire bundle itself. It sells for $50. You're getting the bundle for $49, and you're getting over $6,000 worth of other stuff. So why not go grab the bundle before it's gone? The link is in my description box below. Just click below. And also other places to buy different kits. So if you're looking for different companies that do the microbiome testing, depending on the country you're in, go to the description box below and see all the other stuff that you can get. I've got lots of links in there, but the best link right now is for the bundle. So go check it out before it's gone. Click that link, go see everything on the website and grab it, because it not only supports us, but it supports you, because you're going to have so much information and it's going to be wonderful. There's lots of raw food stuff in there. It's whole food, plant-based, it's vegan. There's actually a lot of vegan stuff in there. There's Lifting Vegan Logic has his ebook in there that's debunking every myth against veganism, which is a really great ebook as well. The Vegan Sheepdog has his ebook in there, Finding Your Why. It's like his story and to help inspire you to find your why to go vegan. There's so much stuff in there. It's the Vegan Health and Weight Loss Bundle, link in the description box below. So until the next video, guys, thank you so much for joining. I love you all, and I hope you start to increase your variety, test your gut, and be consistent. Mwah! Fruit on.